I should have a break here somewhere. Nope. Okay. So this next section is entitled God Tests Faith by God's Work, by Good Works. In verses 14 through 26, James shows that God tests faith by good works. And Daryl, my father-in-law, he underlined God tests faith by good works. There are those who say that we have in this section a contradiction to the writings of Paul because Paul made it abundantly clear that faith alone could save you. We have this clear statement in Galatians chapter 2 and verse 16, knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but by the faith of Jesus Christ. Even we have believed in Jesus Christ, that we might be justified by the faith of Christ and not by the works of the law. For by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified. I have divided this section up as follows. Number one, the interpretation of faith, verse 14. Number two, the identification of faith, verses 15 through 20. And number three, the illustration of faith, verses 21 through 26. First, we have the interpretation of faith when we understand the definition of faith as it is used by Paul and James. In the context of their writings, we can see that Paul and James, again, my father in law, Daryl Shepherd, underscored this as well. Paul and James are in perfect agreement that they are discussing the same subject from different viewpoints. Paul says that a man is not saved by the works or the deeds of the law. In Romans chapter 3 and verse 28, he writes, therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law. In Galatians, as we have noted, Paul says that a man is justified not by works, but by faith in Christ Jesus. How then are we going to reconcile Paul and James? As someone has said, Paul and James do not stand face to face fighting against each other, but they stand back to back fighting opposite foes. Again, my father-in-law Daryl underscored this next section. If that day there were those who were saying that you had to perform the works of the law, the Mosaic law, that you had to come by the law and in order to be saved. He continues his underlying. Paul answered that by saying that the works of the law will not save you and that only faith in Christ can save you. Both Paul and James, therefore, are defending the citadel of faith. To see that, we need to understand the use of their terminology. Paul says that saving faith, that faith which is genuine and real, will transform the person's life. Paul said of himself that what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Christ. Philippians chapter 3 and verse 7. A real uh, revolution took place in the life when he came to Christ. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 1 and 2, Paul wrote, moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preached unto you, which also ye have received, and wherein ye stand, by which also ye are saved, if you keep in memory what I preached unto you, unless and Daryl starts his underlying here again. Ye have believed in vain. That is, unless it was just an empty faith. Now, let us look at what James has to say.